Hello everyone, Army. What if most of the stories circulating on the internet never actually happened? In just a matter of minutes, a rumor can spread across an entire fandom. I used to think that only on Wattpad people made up stories to deal with the strange feelings of their own imagination. There, fiction truly becomes a place where people pour out ideas, fantasies, and scenarios that don't always exist in the real world. But recently, I began to realize something quite surprising. It turns out that fictional narratives are not only created on storytelling platforms. On social media, there are also people who create stories as if they were facts, just to gain attention and make others believe them. For example, recently some JUNGKOOK fans claimed that they saw Jimin and JUNGKOOK filming somewhere. The person who said they saw them also mentioned that they had actually wanted to meet Taehyung, but failed. The story immediately spread quickly, as it usually does whenever a new rumor appears in the fandom. However, what truly confuses me is one very simple thing: where is the evidence? When people start asking whether there are photos, videos, or at least something that could confirm the story, the answer is always the same: there is nothing. Just a story from one person claiming that they saw them. This pattern has actually happened many times before. Anyone can say they saw an idol somewhere, but without proof, it is only words. What is even stranger is that if they were truly at a filming location, there would certainly be many other people around who also saw them. In today's world, it is almost impossible for someone to keep a moment like that to themselves. Usually, within minutes, photos or videos would already appear on social media. Until now, there hasn't been a single photo, autograph, or real piece of evidence that can confirm that story. In fact, there are details within the story that make it sound even less believable. The person who claimed to see them said that Jimin and JUNGKOOK were not wearing makeup during filming. Yet we all know that this is almost impossible. In the entertainment industry, especially during filming, idols almost always wear camera makeup. They themselves have mentioned many times on various occasions that when they wear makeup, it is usually because they are filming something. So when someone says they saw a filming process without any makeup at all, the story immediately feels suspicious. This only strengthens the suspicion that the story may have been fabricated to make it sound interesting. If they really were filming something, that would mean they were working. And when they work, there is usually a production team, staff members, and many other people involved in the process. However, people often forget one important thing: they are members of a globally famous group, BTS. When JUNGKOOK has free time outside of work, he is free to choose who he wants to spend that time with. On several previous occasions, he has been seen spending time with Taehyung or with his friends when he is not working. This is part of his personal life. It is important for us as fans to understand that there is a big difference between their professional lives as idols and their personal lives as individuals. On the other hand, there was a different situation that happened recently. A girl actually saw Taehyung yesterday, and this time there is clear evidence. From what can be seen, Taehyung was indeed filming something. He was seen with a girl wearing a school uniform, and the girl who witnessed the moment immediately took a photo and uploaded it to her social media. This is a real example of evidence that can truly be verified. The difference is very clear. This girl did not just say she saw Taehyung, she also showed a photo to support her story. With that evidence, the information becomes far more credible than a rumor without proof. The problem is that on the internet it is very easy for someone to create a story when they are not required to prove anything. With just one post, a rumor can spread widely within minutes. Then there are people who immediately believe it without checking the truth first. They share the story again, add their own speculation, and without realizing it, make the rumor appear like a fact. In the end, situations like this actually make them look uncritical themselves. What is most troubling is when lies like this begin to affect the image of the artists and confuse other fans who are trying to understand what is truly real and what is just a fabricated story. That is why it is often wiser to wait for official information rather than immediately believing everything that circulates on the internet. amid all the rumors and speculation that continue to appear, there is one thing that has always been clear to many people: the relationship between Taehyung and Jungkook has something that feels very special. It does not need to be proven through stories created by others. On the contrary, that special quality can be seen in the small moments they naturally share, moments that are not forced and not created for drama. When they are seen together, what often appears are simple interactions, spontaneous laughter, warm and familiar glances, or the way they support each other in different situations. All of this happens naturally, without the need for additional narratives from the outside. In fact, that simplicity is what makes many people feel that their relationship has a genuine depth. These small interactions show the level of trust they have in one another. They seem so comfortable around each other, as if each other's presence always becomes a safe space. This is very different from the stories created by people on the internet, which often try to create dramatic situations that never actually happened. A sincere relationship does not need fabricated stories or fake proof to appear real. Sincerity is often visible in small details that appear spontaneously. And when someone truly pays attention to Taehyung and Jungkook's interactions over the years, many feel that the warmth between them has never seemed forced. As time goes on, many fans notice how Taehyung and Jungkook still tease each other in a light and playful way, even after many years together. There is something that almost feels like a couple falling in love again whenever they exchange glances or laugh together. Sometimes their cheeks even blush spontaneously, as if the emotions they feel cannot be completely hidden. When they look at each other, there is a certain sparkle in their eyes that often makes people notice. The gaze feels warm, attentive, and sometimes lasts so long that it seems as if the world around them disappears for a moment. For some people who witness it, moments like these feel incredibly intimate. The shy smiles they exchange often add to the sense of natural closeness. They speak in softer tones when they are near each other, creating an atmosphere that feels more personal. As if in the middle of a crowd, they have a small world that only the two of them understand. Every time they exchange compliments, it sounds sincere and unforced. The way Taehyung looks at Jungkook, or vice versa, often shows a deep sense of admiration. Their eyes seem to shine when they face each other, as if they see something very precious in one another. For Taehyung, many people feel that Jungkook is someone who holds a very important place in his life, a person he genuinely values and admires. Meanwhile, for Jungkook, Taehyung often appears to be someone who brings comfort and inspiration. Their relationship shows how two people can appreciate each other's uniqueness. They do not always need big words to express what they feel. Sometimes a single glance or a small gesture is enough to convey so much. After more than a decade of sharing the same journey, they have gone through many important moments together, both the ones seen by the public and the ones only they remember themselves. What impresses many people is how their relationship does not seem to fade over time. On the contrary, many feel that their bond has grown deeper and more mature. They continue to praise and support each other in ways that are simple yet sincere. People who have observed them for years often say that relationships like this are rare. A relationship that lasts a long time is usually built on mutual respect, trust, and shared experiences that continue to grow. And perhaps that is what makes many people feel that Taehyung and Jungkook's relationship has something different. Not because of dramatic stories created by others, but because of the way they themselves show that closeness, naturally, consistently, and without exaggeration. On the internet, stories can be created in a matter of minutes, but the truth is usually seen in something much simpler: evidence, consistency, and what truly happens right before our eyes. Rumors without proof will always appear and disappear, but genuine relationships do not need forced stories to look real. Sometimes, the small moments that happen naturally are enough to show true closeness, like what we have often seen in Taehyung and Jungkook's interactions over the years. Thank you for watching and listening until the end. If you enjoy discussions like this, about facts, perspectives, and interesting moments surrounding BTS, don't forget to support the channel Gallery Jungkook by pressing the subscribe, like, and share buttons so that more ARMY can join the discussion in a wiser way. See you in the next video on Gallery Jungkook.